And I had this Spider-Man comics and Thor comics, whatever it is, all in Swedish or German. That's how I learned. Like in Germany, they go like pang pang, and in America they go like bang bang, but in New York they go like pow pow, and then in Sri Lanka dome. So that's how I got to. People used to come and watch that and say, because
the song was so popular,
It was so huge. Saumya is the lead actor. He's like almost in, actually I wrote it for Peter D. Almeida, and we even sat down and wrote the script quite a bit, and then Peter had to go to another country for looking after his company, his Sun Computers or whatever he was doing at that time. I'll tell you one thing for that, to add to that, like what I'm saying, like I've seen you as the giant, this Nalin, my friend Nalin Pereira from Marians, one day tells me, Machang, Boodee, when you used to play that band those days, I would love to have you in it, because you see, when we were kids, we used to watch you on television, Bonjour, and
when we were kids is the key word, huh? Yes.
No, what I mean is like when we were young.
When I started.
I mean, he was young too. So, Machang, I need a song, because we were desperately looking for a song for Mille Soya, for Sangeet and Mahendra. And he's like, okay, pick up any song you want, doesn't matter. And then I started listening to it, and then I was like, Araliya gahayata sudille poddak Mahendra katahanda wage teheno. So I said, I would like to have this one. Okay, take anything.
We are back again with yet another edition of the Fame Game at
ITC Colombo.
Ratnadeepa, right. So, and our guest, looking very dapper, aren't we, in the sisters' creation? So, Boodee Vishwanath Boodee Keerthisena. So, once upon a time, you were known as Booddee's son. And now you're known as Darshi's brother. But who the hell are you actually?
I am another guy who's like crazily influenced by my father's work and many other artists around the world, I suppose.
I was being nasty, but you were so kind and polite, also. Yes, Rozanne.
Some people refer to him as Boodee.
Boodee,
just Boodee.
Yeah, I hate
Boodee or Boodee?
No, actually, what happened was, my given name is Vishwanath Boodee Keerthisena, and then we had a band. We were having a band, and I needed a name for the band. And then at that time, Mangala Samaravira was our main fashion designer. Main designer at the Boodee Batiks. So I went to Mangala and I said, Mango, I need a name. And there were only two people in the world who used to call me Boo. One is Mangala, and one was Mangala, and the other one is Rohita of Jayasri, the band.
Thank God it was Boo and not with the G.
Okay. So, Boogie. Okay, so, and then Mangala said, Boo, why don't we call you Boodee? And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Cool. So we called Boodee and the Wozies. So that's how Boodee came into this thing, and then on all my artwork and everything, then I started pronouncing as Boodee.
So when did you discover that you were bent on the creative arts?
I think it was there from the younger days, because there was always, I had two worlds, like many people struggling from both sides, like fighting actually. One fought like Excalibur, the sword of power from the dawn of time, and then there was the other thing called the Second World War. People were fighting with tanks and everything. So whenever I used to go to my school, I start seeing these imaginations of these things. I think they were influenced because of seeing many movies from my father's film theatre called Darshana Cinema, which he kind of culturally inherited from his grandfather, because
it goes as far back as that?
Yeah, because his grandfather used to work with Eddie Jayaman as B.W. Jayaman, right? Yeah. those people, which was
1940s.
called Teeter.
Yeah,
That's
Teeter
that's-
record.
yeah,
Teeter
Teeter.
record.
So that's where and then he sent him to his grandfather sent him to India to learn fabric and the clothing and everything. Then he met Rekha's father, Silva, Gemini Ganeshan, and then he made these little connections with those people, and then he was crazy about cinema, and then he came here and started working as a film journalist, and he worked with Atta and Diasz and all these. So that I was, I think those things came in my bloodline. I think.
Darshana Koswadia became Darshi.
Exactly.
And Boodee Keerthisena became down
Boodee
the line.
Batiks.
Buddhi Batiks
Buddhi
became,
Batiks and Boodee.
Boodee, whatever.
Take us back to Koswadia, your childhood.
Yeah, that was quite an interesting time. I mean, if I'm talking about my childhood, I used to, even though I'm Buddhist, I used to go to Maristella Nigambu, and there was this valley goda, the sand, this pile in front of batik and house and everything. I used to lie down there in the evenings because this is coming with the revival. And I used to think that the Blake Sevens,
Wow.
the spaceship will come and will take me with them.
So that's
and
how you got into comics.
I think the comics came from,
Buddhi.
every Christmas there were like my father's friends from around the world, because he used to go with Buddhi Batiks exhibitions around the world. And they used to come every Christmas in our house, and I had this Spider-Man comics and Thor comics, whatever it is, but all in Swedish or German.
But
That's
do
how I
understand?
learned. Like in Germany, they go like pang pang, and in America they go like bang bang, but in New York they go like pow pow, and then in Sri Lanka dome. So that's how I got
Yeah.
to
So
understand.
lying on that pile of sand, you did not need substance to escape into the world of...
Creativity.
No, I always thought the liberator will come and take me.
Did he?
No, it never.
So your first outburst was Mille Soya.
No.
No.
It's Sihna Deshan.
Silva.
Mille Soya was a
That's-
major turning point, though.
Yeah.
The red smoke and the red curtains and those drapes, and that it's a whole hallucinatory experience, right?
I suppose so, you can
Yes.
say, because
That's what I remember.
because smoke comes from the bomb that went
Yes,
off, and the
yes,
sepia tone
yes.
Vasanta Vittachi
Yes.
coming and hugging Mahendra Pera, who was acting as the Prince of Death, Maharya. And that's probably what your memory is saying. I mean, that got to me because I went to film school. That also, I wanted to go to study film. And then I wanted to decide whether I should go to Italy or to France. And then I went
France.
to Mangala, and I said, he says,
What did Mangala say?
no. He said, look, by that time he had introduced me to David Bowie's music and Andy Warhol's art. And he said, you want to go to New York because Bowie lives there and Warhol lives there. And I'm like, immediately, New York, nowhere else. So I went to New York, and that's where I studied my film. And first I went to Adelphi University and then transferred to School of Visual Arts, SVA, because now there are other filmmakers. You probably have seen some of their movies like X-Men and all those stuff, that some of our classmates. But that's where I went to, and then I started, I graduated from there, and I met a lot of interesting people. I got to work with very interesting people and work for them, and so that's where the whole thing.
So if I say Mangala Samarveera was a huge influence in your life, is it correct?
Yeah, he was. He was, because before, my father was bringing all this great music to my house. Like whenever he went in his tours, like whether it could be Santana, ABBA, Demis Roussos, and sometimes David Bowie. But I didn't know. And Prasad one day saw Prasad Abubakar and said, oh, this guy, because David had his Man Who Fell to Earth picture from the movie with sound and vision, this thing. And he said, this is a very, cool person. those days we didn't know the word dude, so cool person.
Good person.
And then I go to Mangal, and Mangal is like, yeah, I listen to David Bowie.
Okay.
I interviewed his wife, Angela Bowie. And I'm like, you know, I mean, that's,
Yeah.
and you know, that's where the whole thing. And I fell in love with his music because he's very different. And at those days, he introduced me to Brian Ferry of Roxy Music, Lou Reed, Iggy Pop, all the changes of that time. You know, the people who did the change. And of course, I used to borrow records from Senaka De Silva about Lou Reed's music, and you know, there was. So you know, I was very lucky to have been
Influenced such
and
people.
work with these maestros. I think they were all maestros. They knew what they were doing. Even in Sri Lanka, they were, I mean, height of their time. And I mean, to fantastically think, Mangala put me into these avenues, but fantastically think it was Senaka because his visuals were
I
crazy.
agree.
Like Salvador Dali in a way. I mean, a Sri Lankan Salvador Dali at that time. So, you know.
Seneca's knowledge is huge.
Yeah.
Beyond comprehension.
And they were all friends, you know. I mean, you know, so that was another thing, you know, Art Center Club and meeting all these amazing people at that time. And
But I guess at that time people made use of that also. Now people don't know how to make use of such talent, or maestros are just thrown aside. And
Seneca, for one, is a walking encyclopedia.
yeah,
You know that. Visual
yeah.
information.
creativity.
I think for what you said, I have a feeling, you know, in America, in the Western world, I remember, and those days in Sri Lanka also, I mean, at that time, Man Ray and Lionel Wendt used to work with together. And my first class in documentary class in US, I walked in and I see Song of Ceylon, whose voice is there, Lionel Wendt, and I'm like, Jesus. And at that time, I used to hang out in Lionel with Mangal and all those people. So
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, what an amazing time at that time.
Yeah.
Man Ray was one of the biggest at that time. And so then I realized we had missed the links. Then again it started, but I think it never went in that sort of way. Because there I feel people talk about their influences. Here people like to forget about it and talk, yes, I am the one who did
Yeah.
that. I can't say that because I think I've been influenced by most of these.
Yeah, it's a collective effort, I think.
Like Lenin Moraes, who did Hatara Denama Suryo. I mean, I see a lot of influence in Mille Soya in that. And you know, like that, there are a lot of artists we all
Input
Yeah.
from various people.
We all them a lot because, you know.
Boodee, I've been watching a lot of English Indian films on Netflix. So it's really
English Indian.
Yeah.
made
Okay.
in India in the English language, and I mean like really good stuff. As a filmmaker, why has the Sri Lankan cinema not been able to come to that level?
You know, it's funny because...
Lack of money, or what?
Money
no, I
is not
think
the issue
India
there.
has a lot of what you call
They're
diaspora.
westernized, you know. Yeah.
The English speaking diaspora in other
Around the
countries,
world, yeah.
around the world they have. So that's one reason. And the other reason I remember, do you remember? It's a matter of time. I
Yes.
think Sangeeta
Yeah, I was
in
just
India
about
too.
to say. It's a
Sangeeta
matter of
Kamal,
time.
Gamini Rosie.
Yeah.
Roy Silva's film.
Roy, yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I thought that was a
That
great...
was way ahead of its time.
Yeah. And be a man, man. You remember
I remember that,
Be
yes.
a man, man. So it was funny. But I think they tried that. And there was another number 2 also. I can't remember what it was. But it didn't go well.
No.
But it's a matter of time. Did very well.
Sangeeta's first, right? Or it was like
I don't
many
remember
years
that.
ago.
I don't.
Yeah,
I can't. remember.
I was very small. I remember this.
Yeah.
So it was long time ago.
I think 89, 80, some, I don't know, in the 80s. Yeah. And
I remember it was at the Majestic
Yes,
Cinema.
the Majestic Cinema.
Yes.
So that trend really did not pick up. I don't know why, but I think mainly because due to the diaspora thing, because we don't have as much as that, and our people, whoever could speak English, they went to Australia or England or a little bit to America, but everybody else went to Italy or Japan. You know, so they didn't speak that much English. So it was
Yeah.
kind of...
Back to Boodee, are you excited about the forthcoming 60s?
sorry?
We're turning 60. sometime down the line.
You had to say that.
I had to say that it's okay because I'm much older than him.
He's younger than
You
me.
took
He's
him by
younger than-
surprise.
Okay.
He's like, is it another movie or what?
At first I thought he's talking about the next movie.
Exactly.
60s
මෙයාට 60යි දැන්.
or 69.
හැටට නෑ තාම.
හැටට යනවා.
හැටට ළඟයි.
තාම නෑ.
යනවා.
Oh.
So
But you look good for,
You look
for
good,
that,
you
for
know,
that age.
Thank you very much. And my sister made
Yeah.
me look younger, and
Yes.
Ramsey gave me a nice hair look. And,
Ramzi Rahman, who is Rozanne's official HMU.
But you also, my official killer, you also slowly go and get yourself done and then come
No,
and
but
put it on
see,
me.
No,
Ramsey,
he waxed the beard nicely.
how we all met Ramsey and all these people through Mangala, through Senaka, Chandripiris, the Colombo art scene. I think that at that time was the height of everything.
Yeah,
you know?
it was the peak, I
Jit
suppose.
Peer is doing this, and what's her name? I can't remember.
Boodee, what's to be expected of you as an artist, as a filmmaker, as a creator?
I don't know. Many artists say I'm trying to find out truth and this and that, but myself, no. I'm not trying to find truth through art. That's for me, for my other kind of means of life, like whether it's a religion or it's some
Spiritual,
kind of spiritual
yeah.
or whatever. So for me, for art is something that I enjoy and inspires me to.
You've been in various mediums also, like
Yeah.
not only films.
Yeah, first I think I got into
Drawing.
Comics, and then of course painting. Then of course.
But you got involved with batik also, no?
Yeah, that was actually. I did 2 fashion shows. I remember in one, Wendell Labroy was
Yes.
also a model.
Yeah.
And so that was I think that influence came from Mangala, and Prasad helped me. Prasad Abubakar helped me a lot. Chandri Piris did a beautiful choreography for me to do that stuff, and Jayasri was playing when they were Serendip in Maristella College, and the second one when we did, Wendell was also there, and Wendell's brother Maxi also was there, and at that time that Senaka also did the choreography. Kumari Disanayake, she also was in it. That first time in Sri Lanka or something. Entire fashion show, it was like boo! You know why? Not for booing the fashion show.
Because you were
They were
Boodee.
no, they were taking Athal. They were having fun. Booing the fashion show because was the fun thing to do.
The Athal
because
was-
they knew most of the people like from
Oh,
the school,
so it
this
was-
and that, blah
yeah.
blah blah.
The
They were like
connection
going,
came with the boo.
Yeah.
And boo is you also. Boodee
no,
is
not
boo.
because of my boo, because who ne kiyanne who, not the boo, but I was saying in English, you know. So it was a who, like the dogs go like woof woof and bow bow. So the whole thing. So I mean that was a very great experience. But for my band, for the Jayasri people and all these people, I did clothing and I did some printing, screen printing. Mangala taught me screen printing, and so I did for Mangala's post-nuclear flow show I think his first show I did all the screen print of. He had a full section of, I can't remember what it was. I did the printing.
So then music happened.
Yeah, music happened.
Then commercials and
Yeah, TV commercials, of course. My first TV commercial was Bata. I think the Michelle was in it,
Michelle Rymers.
Michelle Rymers. And we went to somewhere like.
So
I
his
got my-
commercials also were like films. It
I don't know.
had that touch, that
Cinematography.
flair.
they
yes.
used to call me the guy who used to shake the camera and go for out of focus and
Focus,
focus.
yeah.
I introduced kind of that thing to Sri Lankan television, and I did very David Letterman, Jay Leno kind of show called Bakannila. Mangala saw that and he wanted immediately on Rupavahini, and he asked me, give it to the DJ and DG and get it done, blah blah blah. So I was negotiating the price, and then on my birthday, 11th of August 2000, I see Bakani, because Chandragupta did the art direction, Chandragupta Tenur, and Simon Navagattegam, all this crowd was in it, right? I was very lucky to have my father's friends helping me out like that. So then on my birthday 2000, I was working with a German crew helping a documentary on Channel 1 or something, Channel 2, I can't remember, going this thing called Rhythm Chat. Exactly Bakannila content, everything. And I was so pissed, and I called Mangal. I was like, we had an argument over the phone, blah, 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 blah. And I hung up the phone. I think I remember hanging up the phone. So I found out who copied it and everything. But then after that, Sirasa picked it up for one of presidential election day, and they played the entire thing on that. But I was very disappointed.
the great imitation, they say, is the greatest form
Flattery.
of flattery. So be flattered that your ideas
Yeah, I
have
suppose
got extended life. Basically, that's how it
If you had to do Mille Soya or Matha again today, what would be the changes, or how would you change?
She wants to know whether you would recast her. And
No.
remove Sangeeta.
No. Bia, don't create controversy here.
I just read your mind.
No.
Sangeeta was an accident.
Sangeeta, you were an accident. Sangeeta,
No,
sorry.
but she's a
God.
great friend of mine. We became great friends after that. She's been bailing me out so many times. I must say that she bailed me out few times.
I'm sure. Good heart.
Yeah, she's a fantastic friend. But I'm saying it was somebody else was to be there.
Okay.
Kaushalya and
Okay.
Mahendra. We were all in any theatre group, sitting down on the floor saying, I am the father and the mother of this baby, and you all are uncles and aunts and everybody, blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly we get a call from Chandana, he was in Netherlands at that time, and asking Kaushi to come back. And I said, Kaushi, don't fight, you better go. We forget about this and we'll do something else later. Because I always put the family and your work first than anything else.
So did Sangeeta accept to come as a
Then,
replacement?
no. Sangeeta, one day,
You are just trying to create controversy.
No.
No, she's a lovely person.
No,
Sangeeta.
she's fabulous. She's a great friend.
Very best friend.
No, you see,
I
Sangeeta
can see
was
where you're
the
going.
queen of cinema at that time, right?
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, I'm not going to use any kings or queens of cinema for my film.
Okay.
Then I get a call because there was no CLI at that time. I was in Koswadi. I picked up, hello, Boodee? Yes, Sangeeta. So it was like, okay. So I heard you are looking for an actress for your new movie. I said, yes. I'm available. I said,
Really?
No, wait. I don't know the exact word, but she said, I think of me or something like that. And then I said, then you'll have to, because I thought immediately she will drop when I say this. I said, then you'll have to audition. You know what she said?
Okay.
That's where the whole thing came
Connected.
Okay.
She said, where and when?
Oh, wow.
For me, that was like, wow. Because all the stories I've been hearing about these kings and queens of Sri Lankans, completely changed. And I said, I have to go with this and see.
That is why Sangeeta is still successful.
And she's
Probably.
a
Humility.
thorough
Yeah.
professional
Very,
because
very.
of that.
No,
Yeah.
just like that, when I had Nimneka Hudakala going on, I was supposed to, Saumya is the lead actor. He's like almost actually I wrote it for Peter D. Almeida, and we even sat down and wrote the script quite a bit, and then Peter had to go to another country for looking after his company, his son computers or whatever he was doing at that time. And I had to look for a new actor. I looked for Soumya. I found Soumya and I worked with Soumya. Every other frame, usually Soumya is there. We had an interview that we were supposed to be at Derana, and now we are live in Beam. He had not showed up. I call him, he doesn't pick up. He sent me a message, look, I can't be blah blah, I'm a university professor, this and blah blah blah, blah blah. And I was like, my God, I don't have any major actor. How am I going to promote a movie without major actor?
Without a name.
I called Sangeeta. Luckily, she picked up at that time,
Again,
right?
To the rescue.
Yeah. Sangeeta, yeah? I want to ask you a big help. Can you
Come
help
immediately.
Me? Yeah, come immediately. What is it? No, I am on this live Beam right now. The next round is in about 5 minutes. Can you come and help me, promote the movie? Okay, but don't yell at me. See, how lovely. Don't shout at me. I said, why? Why should I? No, you will know. I said, okay, please come. Then she showed up all in her sports clothes. She was working out in the gym. She just came to save my ass. She just came to save me.
Yes, and so after that?
She just showed up in her sporting clothes, sweat and this and that and no makeup and everything.
And you can't even yell now.
I was like, my God, no. I was so fine. I think everybody was so fine. Even Derana was so fine. And everybody. And Sangeeta has her own television station. For her to show up like that, I thought that was the greatest thing an actor could do to save the director and the film. And she's a great friend.
So, to answer my question, which you redirected,
I knew she was going to come back with that.
if you had to make it today for today's audience.
Oh, well, yeah, things would have been different. I mean, I wouldn't make a remake of Mille Soya, but if I made it today.
Probably.
No.
Because that song was such a hit.
Sequel, Mille Soya.
Yeah, there was two songs became hit. One is Jayasree's
one.
Sudhu and Dumi.
Yeah.
That was funny. They called me one day, Machan, we are back in Sri Lanka. Can you make a music video for Modgovia? Modgovia, Natapang. I said, okay. Can you come and meet us? We had blah 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 in Nigambu, blah blah. Then we went and met. And I was listening to that song. I said, okay, well, let's do that and everything. Machan, I need a song because we were desperately looking for a song for Mille Soya, for Sangeet and Mahendra. And he said okay, pick up any song you want, doesn't matter. And then I started listening to it, and then I was like, Araliya gahayata sudille poddak Mahendra katanda wage teheno. So I said, I would like to have this one. Okay, take anything. And I went. Sangeeta was doing her makeup or something. I put her this thing. Mahendra katanda wage tikak kehena ne.
So you all think alike also.
Then I took and put it to Mahendra, and he was like this, like he was having Atal. And
He was having
this is a good song, Machan. Wow. Makeup idamu ne make ape sindu maru. And that's how I told Chandragupta and Kumar to make Lamasari and have bit of my those days things with this kind of lot of mala and earrings and everything for Mahendra. And so we did that, and it became. People used to come and watch that and say, "Me aar rasarisi kiye ki sindhu ne?" Because
the song was so popular. Yeah,
it was so huge. Yeah, and then Salli Pokuru, Derek and myself and Ajanta uncle Ajanta Ranasinghe wrote the lyrics, and that also became Damien Vikramathilaka did the voice.
Do your wife and 2 children share in your wrong word, flights of fancy? I'm not insulting. Do your wife and children share in your flights of fancy?
My wife is very simple. I mean, I'm very humble also in a way. I feel very lucky to have her in my life.
She's very grounded, I've seen.
Yeah. And my 2 kids are quite amazing because the only way I can tell them is like when I go somewhere and I say like, oh, that's a bit of it's expensive. Data, it's expensive. We don't want that.
Okay.
And I wasn't like that. I was a child like, I want it.
He was the
that.
most. He was the
If
impossible
Darshi also
child.
said that he's the favorite.
The and the
Favorite?
enfant
Yeah, you were the
terrible.
favorite. Kyun Darshi?
Very
Spoilt
much,
one, the impossible one, the incorrigible one.
Yeah.
Your sister was an angel.
You should watch
without
that
wings.
interview. Darshi with us.
yeah, well.
Rozanne putting Darshi under the bus. Can you say?
No, but he was the favorite. I think so too.
But anyway, so, like that way I am very happy with my family and especially my wife always, she's very humble about these things and I'm happy.
So your two daughters,
Yeah.
will they ever come into films, or will they get into batik or music or
I don't
painting?
know.
Or
My eldest daughter she's doing a lot of paintings.
Mm-hmm.
She's very good in her art, and my youngest daughter she's always editing things and posting it to her channel Himaya something. That channel.
There is creativity
yeah,
running
it
down.
is
So
running.
I mean, so they do both of them do their own thing, and so I think they I mean, I don't know, everybody changes when they're like in their 18 or 19, or they kind of change, so I don't know. So I want
What
them
do you
to
want for them? I mean, do you have a plan?
I want them to first thing to be happy, and then also to be well off, because in life the
Well
more
off
and
as in
more the-
financially or happiness?
Yes,
or?
no. That's what I'm saying. First happy, and then well off in the sense, because now the world is getting a very hard place to live. So you have to have some kind of, either you have to be very good at things that what you do, or you have to have wealth. Those things are
Happiness and money
And connections, like
Connections.
what you had.
go and do not go hand in hand. Before we close, Boodee,
Yeah,
I have to say that.
Boodee, before we close, my last question. So
Yeah,
tell us-
I want you to be in my Ricky Dean, my first iPhone
That's my
movie.
question.
Okay, sorry.
Tell them about Ricky Dean.
Yeah.
Tell them about
Okay,
Ricky
that
Dean.
Ricky Dean, of course,
I
started.
love Ricky Dean.
I wanted to do Ricky Dean in 1970s. Oh no, sorry, 80s. I'm so sorry, 70s. That was in the 80s before I went to film school, because I saw one Oscar-winning animated film. Then I thought I want to do that, but there was no way we could do animation because nobody had. I was lucky, one of the first people to start doing animation in Sri Lanka with Elephant and the Mouse.
So live actor.
And then when I went to America, I thought I could do it. No, but then I had a friend called Ricky, and I wanted to cast him as Ricky Dean. And then I came to Sri Lanka, and then I started my own animation studio. Matha was done with that, and few other films, Nimneka Udakalawa. So I could do these things. Then I thought, okay, let me do this. And then suddenly Lakshman called me and said, Machang, can you do like a small thing for chamber music of, what is Lakshman's thing? Chamber Society.
CMSC, Colombo, gosh.
Okay, let's say, okay.
CMSC.
Suddenly Lakshman calls, and he calls me and tell me like he's...
Chamber Music Society of Colombo.
Yes, Lakshman's Chamber Music of Society, Colombo. They are doing a concert. Could you do a movie clip for that? And I immediately thought, let me do Ricky Dean, like a small clip. But then Ricky Dean didn't end up being a small clip, started becoming a feature film. Then I started shooting with my iPhone a feature. That was Sri Lanka's first iPhone feature. I had drag queens and Lady Godiva, Sangeeta, who has crossed over from a TV series in the 70s to, late 60s to normal world. And so she wears like very 60s clothing, and she's a mafia boss. She has like a pink handgun, So, all these crazy things started, and then I casted the most amazing actor, Mahendra Pera, in it, and he's Ricky Dean and many other friends. I always work with friends.
And
now
here I am dying
to get on it,
Done.
and
To be cast in
you
Ricky
are
Dean.
accusing me of trying to get into one
No,
of
but
his films.
I think
whereas
it will be fantastic
I'm
to
going
have.
to teach. Okay, well, I'm going to teach him. certain kind of
don't give it out.
Wait. Etiquette. We'll see how it works.
No, I mean, it'd be
Give
great
me
to have
give
him.
me
Yeah.
Ricky Dean. I'll teach him.
Because he is one of the first TV personals we used to watch in English and French in Sri Lanka. I mean, so we had. I'll tell you one thing for that to add to that. Like what I'm saying, like I've seen you as the giant. This Nalin, my friend Nalin Pera from Marians, one day tells me, "Machang, Boodee, when you used to play that band those days, I mean, I would love to have you in it because you see, when we were kids, we used to watch you on television, Bonjour, and
When we were kids is the key word. Huh? Yes. carry
no,
on.
what I mean is like
Yes,
when we were
so the
young,
kids,
we were young.
when I started.
I mean, he was young too, so
Thank
so when we would look at this screen and he's larger than life, and just like that, I remember to add to that, I'll tell you, Nalin of Marians one day came up to me and said, "Machan, Boodee උඹ දන්නවද? What? අපි මචං ඉස්සර බයිසිකල් පැදගෙන එනවනේ උඹලා මියුසිකල් ෂෝ එක බලන්න. ඇවිල්ලා Boodee and the Hoosies ගානකොට හිටගෙන බලන් ඉන්නවා බං ස්ටේජ් එක දිහා. උඹලා නටනකොට පිස්සු කෙලනකොට." So I mean that's an amazing way of a homage,
True.
I like that I paid homage to Vimukti in my film, Tissa Besekara in Nimneka Hudakalawa. I like to do that. This is a great way the culture moves forward.
Appreciation.
Yeah. So, Kumar, I'd love to have you in it. With Ricky Dean.
Let's get the fork and the knife polished and ready. If that's the clue.
So-called French heritage.
Something that Rozanne is very uncomfortable doing.
Let's close, Kumar.
Yes, you close.
Anyway, I've worked with you, worked with your sister, worked around everything that you have built. Amazing work. And I wish that you will still keep doing the stuff that you were doing, because I see you've got a little silent and calm and maybe so.
Yeah, they call me the outside. I come and explode a bomb and go back.
Yeah.
And because, many people...
We need another bomb very soon.
And I think also that has something to do with passing of my father also. I kind of kept
Probably,
quite after that. Yep. He was
Thanks
my
Thank
backbone.
you
much,
so much,
Boodee.
Boodee.
Thank you for having me.
Saying yes
One
and coming
thing
on the
I'm
show.
going to fault you with as we close, and I'll never ever, great guy, I'll never ever forgive you for one thing that you did.
What was
Never
that?
ever. Why did you close Mathura? And you took it so far away. I
Oh,
cannot come
yeah.
all the way to Koswadi, but I loved the Mathura food. It was amazing. I haven't eaten such
Proper
fabulous
Indian
And you know
food.
what? That's funny. My
It
father...
was my go-to place. Like every week I was there. Like
Yeah,
once
yeah,
a week I
know.
was there.
Yeah, my father started that, and all the stars from Keerthisena to Amaradeva to Kumar, Silva, everybody used to be there. Sangeeta, everybody.
It was so nice. And you killed that for me. You just killed that for me. On that note of mixed feelings, thank you very much for being on Film Game. So we meet you again next week at the same time here.
Thank you, welcome.